Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and misunderstood coins in American history, the 1965 United States quarter dollar. What makes it so special? Why are collectors willing to pay top dollar for it? And how can you tell if you have a rare one in your possession? Stick around, because this is going to blow your mind. The history behind the 1965 quarter. The year was 1965. The United States was experiencing a coin shortage, and the price of silver had skyrocketed. Up until that point, quarters were made of 90% silver. But in an effort to reduce costs and stabilize the coin supply, the U.S. Mint made a historic change. They removed silver from the quarter entirely. Starting in 1965, quarters were made with a clad composition. That's a copper core sandwiched between two layers of cupronickel. This change was supposed to be straightforward. But as you'll see, not everything went according to plan. The rare 1965 silver quarter, a coin worth thousands. Now here's where it gets interesting. During the minting transition in 1965, a small number of silver planchets, the metal discs used for coins, were accidentally left in the machines. That means a handful of 1965 quarters were struck on silver instead of the new clad composition. These are the legendary 1965 silver quarters, and they are extremely rare. One of these coins sold at auction for over $7,000. That's right, $7,000 for a quarter. But how do you know if your 1965 quarter is one of these silver anomalies? How to identify a rare 1965 silver quarter? Grab a 1965 quarter right now and follow along. First, look at the edge of the coin. Most clad quarters will show a distinct copper-colored stripe. But a silver quarter? No copper. Just a solid silver-colored edge all the way around. Second, the weight. A standard clad 1965 quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. But the silver version weighs closer to 6.25 grams. If you have a precision scale at home, that might be your first big clue. Third, and maybe most importantly, the sound. Silver coins make a higher-pitched ring when dropped on a hard surface. Clad coins make a duller sound. There's even an app for that. The market value today. What's it worth? As of this year, verified 1965 silver quarters in uncirculated condition have sold for between $3,000 and $10,000 depending on grading and provenance. Even worn ones can command prices in the hundreds. But that's not all. Even regular 1965 clad quarters can be valuable if they have minting errors. We're talking double dies, off-center strikes, and missing clad layers. These can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100s depending on the severity of the error and coin condition. Rare errors and variants to look out for. Let me show you a few types of valuable errors collectors are hunting for. First, the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned during striking. Second, the missing clad layer. This reveals the copper core and gives the coin a striking red-brown appearance. And third, double dies, where parts of the design appear twice due to a misalignment during the die creation process. Some of these error coins have sold for over $1,000. So check your change carefully. That pocket full of quarters could be your ticket to a small fortune. Grading and selling your coin. If you think you've got a rare 1965 quarter, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Services like PCGS and NGC will authenticate and grade the coin, giving you an official certification that can dramatically increase its value. A graded coin not only tells buyers it's the real deal, but also opens up the possibility of selling it at major auctions or through reputable coin dealers. The legacy of the 1965 quarter. The 1965 quarter represents more than just a shift in metal composition. It's a piece of American history, a reflection of the economic realities of the 1960s, and a symbol of how even ordinary objects can carry extraordinary stories. So the next time you're handed a quarter and change, take a closer look. You might just be holding a piece of treasure, a coin worth far more than 25 cents. Because in the world of numismatics, every coin has a story, and some of them are priceless. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1965 quarter, smash that like button, share this video with fellow treasure hunters, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing coin stories. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most overlooked but surprisingly valuable coins in American coinage history, the 1967 United States quarter dollar. That's right, that old Washington quarter sitting in your change jar might actually be worth a lot more than you think. Grab your magnifying glass and stay with us until the end because we're revealing hidden details, rare errors, and today's market prices that might just blow your mind. Let's get started. To truly appreciate the 1967 quarter, we have to travel back in time to a turbulent era in American history. The year is 1967. The Vietnam War is escalating. Protests are erupting across college campuses. Martin Luther King Jr. is marching for civil rights, and America is deep in a cultural and political transformation. Amidst all this, the United States Mint is facing its own crisis, a coin shortage that shook the economy. Why was this happening? The answer lies in the rising price of silver. Prior to 1965, U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars were made of 90% silver. But as the price of silver began to climb, people started hoarding coins for their metal value, leading to a massive shortage in circulation. In response, Congress passed the Coinage Act of 1965, which authorized the U.S. Mint to produce quarters made of a copper-nickel-clad composition instead of silver. This transition continued through the late 1960s, and that's where the 1967 quarter comes in. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1967 quarter. On the obverse, we have the familiar portrait of George Washington, facing left. This iconic design was created by sculptor John Flanagan and first appeared on the quarter in 1932, commemorating the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Around the top of the coin, you'll see the word Liberty. And just beneath Washington's chin, the phrase, "In God We Trust." The date 1967 is struck prominently at the bottom. On the reverse, there's the bold and majestic eagle, wings spread wide, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath it. This symbolizes both strength and peace, a classic American message. Surrounding the top are the words United States of America, and below that, the national motto, E Pluribus Unum. And at the bottom, quarter dollar. But did you notice something missing? That's right, there is no mint mark on the 1967 quarter. Why? Because from 1965 through 1967, the U.S. Mint intentionally removed mint marks to discourage coin hoarding. They didn't want people holding on to coins just because they came from a certain mint. Unlike the pre-1965 quarters made of silver, the 1967 quarter is made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, known as a clad coin. But don't let that discourage you. Just because it's not made of silver doesn't mean it's worthless. In fact, here's a surprising number. More than 1.5 billion 1967 quarters were minted. That's billion with a B. Most were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, though again, there were no mint marks that year. This massive production means most 1967 quarters are still common in circulation, but there's a twist. Now here's where things get interesting. While the 1967 quarter is common in general, rare errors and high-grade examples can fetch impressive prices on the collector's market. Let's talk about a few key varieties and errors you should look out for. Double die obverse, DDO. This occurs when the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or shifted slightly between impressions. It creates a double effect on the lettering or date. Some 1967 quarters have visible doubling on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Off-center strikes. These are coins where the design is struck off-center, often by 5%, 10%, or even more. A well-centered error of this type can be worth hundreds of dollars. Clip planchets. This error happens when the blank metal disc that becomes a coin is improperly cut, resulting in a curved or missing section on the coin. Rare, but valuable. Transitional errors. Extremely rare, but valuable. These are coins mistakenly struck using the wrong metal composition. Though no confirmed silver 1967 quarters are known, always double-check your coin's weight. A normal clad quarter weighs 5.67 grams, while a silver quarter weighs 6.25 grams. If you find a 1967 quarter that weighs more, you might be holding a unique transitional error, worth thousands of dollars. The next big factor that determines a coin's value is its condition, or what collectors call the grade. A coin in average circulated condition might just be worth face value, 25 cents. But in uncirculated or mint state condition, especially MS 65 and above, the value climbs significantly. In fact, a 1967 quarter graded MS 67 by a top grading company like PCGS or NGC has sold for over $3,000 at auction. Why so much? Because high-grade examples with perfect surfaces, no scratches, strong luster, and sharp strikes are incredibly rare, especially from a year with such high production. So check your coins carefully. Use a magnifier, examine the surfaces, and compare your coin to known high-grade examples. Let's get into the numbers. What is the current market value of the 1967 quarter in 2025? Here's a rough breakdown based on condition. Circulated, good to XF 25 cents. $1 about uncirculated, AU $1. $3 mint state, MS 60, MS 63 $5. $15 mint state, MS 65, MS 66, $20. $150 top grade, MS 67 or higher, $500. $3. 000 plus rare errors or varieties. $50 to $5,000 plus, depending on the error. Collectors are always hunting for high-grade coins and errors, which is why prices can fluctuate. Sites like eBay, Heritage Auctions, and PCGS provide real-time market values if you're planning to sell. Or BUY.so. How can you find a valuable 1967 quarter? Start by checking your pocket change, coin jars, and old family collections. Visit coin shows, garage sales, or estate auctions. Many people overlook these clad-era coins. Use a scale to check weight and a loupe to examine small details. Consider having your coin professionally graded if you suspect it's in mint condition or contains an error, and always stay informed. The coin market changes constantly, and knowledge is your best tool. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1967 quarter dollar. A humble coin from a historic time that might just be a hidden gem in your collection. Don't underestimate the power of change, literally. A coin that most people ignore could end up being worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video about valuable coins, hidden treasures, and the secrets behind American currency. Today, we're diving deep into a seemingly ordinary piece of American currency that just might be worth a small fortune. That's right, we're talking about the 1981 United States quarter dollar. You might have one lying around your house, tucked in a jar, buried at the bottom of your drawer, or jingling in your coin collection, and you might not even realize just how valuable it could be. What makes the 1981 quarter special? Why are collectors hunting it down? How can you tell if yours is worth a lot of money? Stick around, because this is going to be one of the most eye-opening videos you've ever watched about American coinage. Let's uncover the hidden value and incredible history behind the 1981 quarter dollar coin. Let's start with a bit of background. The 1981 quarter is part of the Washington Quarter series, first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. Designed by John Flanagan, the obverse of the coin features the left-facing profile of America's first president. This design remained largely unchanged for decades and is a familiar sight to millions of Americans. Now, what about the year 1981 specifically? By this time, the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins annually. The economy was transitioning through inflation and recession periods. The value of metals was fluctuating, and the demand for durable, cost-effective coinage was high. This led the Mint to continue using the copper-nickel clad composition introduced in 1965, replacing the previously used 90% silver. But not all 1981 quarters are created equal. While most of them are common and in circulation today, there are certain types, mint marks, and rare errors from that year that collectors are paying serious cash for. And we're going to explore them all in this video. In 1981, the United States Mint struck quarters at 3 different locations. Philadelphia Mint. These coins bear no mint mark. Denver Mint. These coins have a small D mint mark. San Francisco Mint. These are proof coins and have an S mint mark. Now, here's where things get interesting. While Philadelphia and Denver produced circulation coins, the San Francisco Mint struck quarters exclusively for collectors in proof sets. These proof coins were not intended for general circulation, and many are still in pristine condition, sealed and preserved. A proof coin from San Francisco in flawless condition can command a much higher price than its regular counterparts. Let's move on to what really gets collectors excited: rare varieties and errors. These are the coins that can turn your everyday pocket change into a collector's jackpot. Some of the most valuable 1981 quarters are error coins. Here are a few you should keep an eye out for. 1. Double die obverse. DDO. This error occurs when the coin is struck by a die that has a misaligned image. You might see doubling on the date, the word liberty, or the motto, "In God We Trust." These coins are incredibly rare and highly sought after. 2. Off-center strike. If the coin's image is not properly aligned and part of the design is missing, it's known as an off-center strike. Depending on how severe the misalignment is, these coins can be worth anywhere from $50 to over $200.30. Clipped planchet. This error happens when the metal strip from which the blanks are punched overlaps during the cutting process. The result is a coin that appears to have a chunk missing. These can fetch high prices from error collectors. Point 4. Broad-struck coins. If a coin is struck outside the retaining collar, it results in a broad-struck coin, a larger, flatter version of the normal quarter. These are another favorite among collectors. Point 5. Proof coins with cameo or deep cameo finish. From the San Francisco Mint, proof coins with exceptional contrast between the frosted design and mirrored background can fetch premium prices, especially if they're graded highly by professional services. The value of a 1981 quarter also depends heavily on its condition. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A coin in poor condition, even with an error, might not be worth much, but a coin in mint state condition, especially MS65 or higher, can be worth a substantial amount. An average circulated 1981 quarter might be worth just 25 cents. But a mint state coin with no wear, a strong strike, and no blemishes could fetch between $10 and $50, depending on the mint mark. Now, pair that with a rare error or proof quality, and you're talking hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's talk numbers. Recent auctions and private sales have shown that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for premium specimens. A 1981 D quarter graded MS67 by PCGS sold for over $700. A 1981 S proof quarter with a deep cameo finish in PR70 condition fetched nearly $300. A double die error coin from 1981 sold in an online auction for over $1,000, depending on the extent and clarity of the doubling. Broadstruck and off-center coins from this year have seen sales in the $100 to $300 range, depending on the severity of the error and condition. Even more exciting is that some of these rare coins have been found in loose change, at estate sales, and in old coin jars. This means that you don't need to be a millionaire to start coin collecting. Sometimes, it's just a matter of knowing what to look for. So, what should you do if you have a 1981 quarter or want to start searching for one? Look for the mint mark. P for Philadelphia is blank, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco proof coins. Examine it under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Look closely for doubling, off-center strikes, or unusual shapes. Compare your coin to reference images online or in collector's guides. Consider submitting your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC if it looks promising. A certified coin will always be worth more. Join coin forums, visit coin shows, and connect with the collector community. Sometimes, knowledge is the most valuable asset. So there you have it. The 1981 quarter dollar may seem like just another coin, but it holds a fascinating history, potential value, and a treasure trove of collector interest. Whether it's the legacy of George Washington, the precision of the San Francisco Mint, or the thrill of discovering a rare error, this coin captures a unique slice of American numismatic heritage. Keep an eye on your pocket change, because the next coin you find could be worth far more than 25 cents. With the right knowledge and a little bit of luck, you might just uncover a hidden gem. Don't forget to like this video if you found it informative, subscribe for more deep dives into the fascinating world of coins, and share this with fellow collectors and treasure hunters. Who knows? One of your friends might be holding on to a rare and valuable 1981 quarter right now. Could one of these coins be worth more than you think? What if I told you that a simple quarter from 1991, something you might toss into a vending machine without a second thought, could actually be worth a small fortune to the right collector? Yes, you heard that right. A 1991 United States quarter dollar, the kind you've probably held hundreds of times, might just be sitting in your home, hiding a shocking secret. Whether you're a casual collector, a treasure hunter, or just someone curious about the world of rare coins, this video is going to blow your mind. So don't go anywhere. Because today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1991 quarter dollar coin. Its hidden history, mysterious value, rare mint errors, collector secrets, and how some of these coins are being sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars in today's market. Let's get started. The 1991 quarter is part of what's officially called the Washington Quarter series, a coin that's been in circulation since 1932. It was originally created to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, but it became so iconic and beloved that it remained a staple of U.S. currency for decades. Now let's rewind to 1991. The Cold War was ending. The internet was just beginning to appear on the horizon. Grunge music was exploding. And somewhere in the U.S. mints factories, millions of shiny new quarters were being struck, including the now legendary 1991 edition. Over 630 million quarters were minted that year. But here's the thing, not all quarters are created equal. And that's where the magic lies. The 1991 quarter features a classic and familiar design. On the obverse, or front side, we see the profile of George Washington, his stern gaze to the left. Above his head is the word Liberty, and below his neck, the date 1991. To the left, you'll find the motto, "I in God we trust." Flip the coin over, and you're greeted by the majestic image of an eagle, wings outstretched, holding arrows in its talons. A wreath of olive branches lies below, symbolizing both peace and strength. Above the eagle, United States of America, and just below that, the Latin phrase e pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. And at the bottom, quarter dollar, simple, iconic, and powerful. Here's where things start to get interesting. The 1991 quarter was minted in 3 different U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia mint coins carry no mint mark and are the most common. Denver mint coins have a small D mint mark. San Francisco mint coins have an S mint mark and were usually proof coins, meaning they were struck specifically for collectors with a mirror-like finish and sharp details. Now, most of the coins you'll find in circulation came from Philadelphia or Denver. And while they're common, condition and rarity still play a massive role in their value, especially when it comes to coin errors or uncirculated condition. Now buckle up. This is the part you've been waiting for. Some 1991 quarters contain minting errors that make them incredibly valuable. Let's talk about a few of the most sought after. Off-center strikes. This is when the coin design is not perfectly centered. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, these coins can sell for hundreds of dollars. Double die errors. Some coins show signs of doubling in the text or images, especially around the word Liberty or the eagle's feathers. These are rare and very desirable to collectors. Clipped planchets, coins that were struck on metal blanks that weren't completely round. These errors are quirky and can increase a coin's value significantly. Proof coins with cameo contrast. These coins, made in San Francisco, are polished to a high degree. If you have a 1991 S-proof coin still in mint condition, it might be worth more than you think. Full drum lines on the eagle's tail feathers. Yes. Even tiny design details like this can mean the difference between a face value coin and a collectible worth over $100. All right, let's talk money.as of 2025. Most circulated 1991 quarters are still worth around 25 cents. No surprise there. But if you have one in uncirculated or mint condition, especially with a grading of MS65 or higher, you're looking at values between $10 and $30. Now here's the kicker. Proof coins from the San Francisco mint in pristine condition? Those can fetch anywhere from $40 to $150, depending on whether they have deep cameo contrast or other unique features. But it gets better. Rare error coins, especially double die strikes or significant off-center errors, have sold for up to $500 or more at auction. And if you've got a graded example certified by companies like PCGS or NGC, the value goes up even further. Some collectors have even paid over $1,000 for the right error in the right condition. That's $1,000 for a quarter. Okay, now you're probably rushing to your change jar. And for good reason. Here's how to check if your 1991 quarter might be worth something. Check the mint mark. Look below the word "I in God we trust." If there's an S, it's a proof coin. If there's a D, it's from Denver. No mark? Philadelphia. Inspect the condition. Is it shiny? Without scratches? That's a good sign. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting. Look for errors. Compare your coin to images online or in coin guides. Any signs of doubling, off-center strike, or clipped edges could mean $. Consider grading. If your coin looks nearly flawless, it may be worth sending to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for evaluation. Who knew that a simple quarter from 1991 could have such a fascinating story, from American history to artistic design, from minting errors to modern-day treasure hunting? So the next time you get change at the grocery store, take a closer look. That ordinary little coin might be anything but ordinary. And if you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and click the bell icon, because we've got more incredible stories coming your way about coins that could change your life. Drop a comment below and let us know. Have you found any rare coins lately? Do you have a 1991 quarter you want us to help you identify? Today's episode is going to blow your mind because we're diving deep into a coin that most people overlook, the 1998 United States quarter dollar. You might think it's just another quarter, right? But what if I told you that this everyday coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? That's right. A simple 25-cent piece from 1998 might be sitting in your change jar or coin collection. And today we're going to explore why this coin is so valuable, how to spot the rare ones, and what the current market is paying for these seemingly ordinary quarters. So grab your magnifying glass, settle in, and get ready because we're about to take a fascinating journey into the value, history, and secrets of the 1998 quarter dollar coin. Let's start with a little context. The year was 1998. Bill Clinton was president. Google was founded. Titanic had just swept the Oscars. And in the world of American currency, it was the final year before a major change. You see, 1998 marked the end of an era, the last full year before the launch of the highly anticipated 50-state quarters program, which would begin in 1999 and run all the way through 2008. But what about the 1998 quarter itself? The coin features the familiar design that Americans had known since 1932. On the obverse side, we have the profile of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Above his head, the word Liberty is stamped proudly. To the left, In God We Trust, and below his portrait, the date, 1998. On the reverse side, the iconic American eagle with outstretched wings is perched atop a bundle of arrows, framed by two olive branches, a powerful symbol of strength and peace. The words United States of America curve above the eagle, and beneath it, quarter dollar. Now, while the design is timeless, what makes this coin interesting is not just its symbolism. It's the hidden varieties, the mint marks, the minting errors, and the skyrocketing collector demand in recent years. The 1998 quarter was minted in three primary locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins struck in Philadelphia bear no mint mark and had a mintage of over 896 million. The Denver Mint produced about 821 million, and you'll find these with a small d on the right side of Washington's ponytail. Then there's the San Francisco Mint, which created proof coins, ultra-detailed, mirror-like versions of the quarter made specifically for collectors. These coins came in both clad and 90% silver versions. The S-Mint proof clad had a mintage of around 2 million, while the silver proof version had fewer than 900,000 minted. So, what makes some of these coins worth far more than their face value? Let's talk about errors and varieties, the heart of coin collecting excitement. Here are some of the most valuable and rare 1998 quarter varieties to look out for. Double die obverse. DDO. Some 1998 quarters feature doubling on the date or the inscriptions on the front of the coin. Look closely at Liberty or In God We Trust under magnification. Strong doubling can make a coin worth hundreds of dollars, depending on the severity. Off-center strikes. Coins that were not perfectly aligned during minting can result in an off-center strike. The more off-center it is, without losing key elements like the date, the more valuable. Some of these can fetch $100 to $300 or more. Clipped planchet. A coin that was punched from a blank sheet of metal too close to the edge might have a crescent-shaped missing section. These errors are sought after by collectors and can command $50 to $200 depending on the size and clarity of the clip. Transitional or experimental planchets. Extremely rare, but in rare cases, coins are struck on the wrong metal. A 1998 quarter on a silver planchet, for example, would be a massive find, potentially worth thousands. Proof strikes in circulation. Sometimes proof coins mint only for collectors find their way into general circulation. If you find a mirror-like 1998 silver proof quarter in your pocket change, you're holding something very special. Now let's talk money. How much are these coins actually selling for? As of this year, here's the breakdown. Standard circulated 1998 P or D quarters are worth face value, unless they're in exceptional condition. Uncirculated, mint state. Coins graded MS65 or higher can be worth $5 to $25 depending on demand and luster. Mint state 1998 P or D in MS67 or higher have sold at auctions for $100 to $500, especially if they're slabbed and graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. 1998. S-clad proofs generally go for $5 to $10, while 1998 S silver proofs can sell for $15 to $40, depending on the condition. Major error coins, like double dies or off-center strikes, can command anywhere from $100 to $1,000 or more, especially if they are dramatic and in high grade. In 1998, P quarter graded MS68 once sold at auction for over $1,200. Yes, a 25-cent coin sold for over $1,000. Want to know if your 1998 quarter is valuable? Here's what to do. Check the mint mark. Is it P, D, or S? San Francisco proofs are already valuable. Look at the condition. The fewer the scratches and the sharper the details, the higher the grade. Use a loupe or magnifying glass. Check for doubling, unusual shapes, or missing elements. Weigh your coin. Plaid quarters weigh 5.67 grams. Anything significantly heavier or lighter could be an error or a rare strike on the wrong planchet. Get it graded. If you think you've got something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and authentication. At first glance, the 1998 quarter seems like just another coin. But once you understand its place in U.S. minting history, the last chapter before the state quarters changed everything, and combine that with rare varieties, mint errors, and collector demand, you start to realize just how exciting this small piece of metal really is. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, this coin teaches us a valuable lesson. Treasure can be hiding in plain sight. So next time you get change at the store or empty out your piggy bank, keep an eye out for that 1998 quarter. It could be the one that turns your pocket change into profit. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something new and fascinating about the 1998 United States quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more hidden coin stories, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin in your pocket. And remember, coins may be small, but their stories are huge. See you in the next one.